Okay, welcome back. So in this video I just want to go through the August entry for the 2009 tabular statement question 2. So if we have a look at it, there it is. A payment of 1,750 was received from J. O'Brien, a debtor, that's somebody who owes us money, whose debt had been previously written off, so somebody who maybe had gone bankrupt and we'd written off their debt, and who now wishes to trade with Yates Limited again. This represents 70% of the original debt. Okay, and O'Brien had undertaken to pay the remainder of the debt in January 2009. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in pencil, and I'm going to rub out some bits after I've already entered them, and I'll explain as I go along why I'm doing that. Okay, so first of all, I think we'll do the easy part. A payment, 1,750 rather, was received from J. O'Brien. So money we received, our bank account is going up by 1,750. So in the bank section here, plus 1,750. Okay, the next thing then is, it says, that was received from J. O'Brien, a debtor whose debt had previously been written off and now wishes to trade again. And that represents 70% of the original debt. So maybe we could just calculate what the total amount of the original debt was up here somewhere. So if 1,750 is equal to 70%, then I like to get 1% and then maybe get the 30%, the rest of the debt, or else get 100%. So just get my calculator out here. 1750, and I'm going to divide by 70 to get 1% is 25, and then multiply by 30, 750 is the other 30%. So here's what's happening. We got this cash, and the debtor has undertaken to pay the remainder in January. They have promised they would pay us. They said, this is an IOU. Put me down in your books as a debtor, as somebody who owes you money. Put me down for the other 750. I promise I'll pay you. So that means our debtors goes up by 750 also. So I'm going to put this in lightly because I'm going to rub it out in a second, just so that it'll look like the similar to the solution in the from the Department of Education. So that's the 750 there. So altogether, you were better off to the tune of, you got cash and you got this asset, your debtors went up by 750, you were better off to the tune of this plus that, which is 2,500. So your profit and loss account should be plus 2,500. Okay, and then we could see that this total would be plus 2,500 and this total would be plus 2,500, and everything would be fine. Okay, and the reason I suppose the profit and loss goes up, because what we would, if we had a profit and loss account, we'd be entering this as bad debt recovered. That's what it's known as, when somebody has a bad debt and we wrote it off and then we recover it again. They come back afterwards and say, oh hey, look, I'll pay that debt now, and it would be a plus or a gain in the profit and loss. So that's why it's positive here as well. Okay, so the next thing is, I put that in lightly because we've more entries to do, because there was more to that section than just there. So this represents 70% of the original debt, and they'd undertaken to pay the remainder of the debt in January 2009. So if it had stopped there, then what we'd have done would have been enough. However, there's a little bit more. On the same day, goods valued at 500 were sold on credit to O'Brien. This is a markup of 25%. Okay. I don't like the wording of this because I think it's a little misleading, but I'll explain it anyway. It says, on the same day, goods valued at that were sold on credit to O'Brien. I would prefer if they said goods with an invoice value of 500, just so they're explaining to us that it's the selling price is 500, because you could easily take it goods valued at 500 means that it's the cost price, but what they do in fact mean here is that it's the selling price. So it means on the same day you sold goods on credit worth 500 euros, which means this person O'Brien took 500 euros worth of goods and said, I'll pay you later for that. So what happens then? In that case, you're not finished with your debtors figure here yet, because O'Brien said he'll owe you the 750 from the original debt, but also now has taken 500 euros more worth of goods. So you have to add 500 onto that as well. So that would be another 500. So if I added the two of them together, we're talking about 1,250 that your debtors will be going up by. So I'm just going to rub that out. Debtors going up by 1,250. Okay. In fact, you know what? I'm going to leave it separately for a moment just so you can see where the rest of it is going. So 750 and 500, isn't it? Okay, so remember, everything balanced okay with this, and this in there. So this 500 now separately, we want to start keeping it balanced, I suppose. We sold goods on credit, selling price 500 euros. So what happens? Our debtors goes up and nothing happens to our bank because we sold them on credit. We didn't get any money for it. But the other thing that happens is our stock goes down because we sold the goods. We don't have them anymore. So the only thing is we don't value stock at selling price at 500 euros. We value it at cost price. So we need to work out what the cost of those goods were if we sold them for 500. And this is where this part comes in. This is a markup of 25%. So if 500 euros is a markup of 25%, it means it's cost plus 25%. It means it's 125% of the cost price. So if we want to get the cost price or the 100%, we might again divide by 125 and multiply by 100 to get back to the 100%. So 125 into that, I'm going to say, goes 4 times, and so 400 euros is the cost price. So the stock was valued at 400, which means that your stock goes down by 400 because you've less stock because you sold it. Okay, and then the difference between the two of them, you've got a plus 500 and a minus 400 above. The difference is 100. Well, that's the profit you made on selling the goods. So that needs to go in as a plus in the profit and loss account. So all told, then you'll have a total down here of 2,600 plus 2,600, and up here, if we added all of this, it would also be a plus 2,600. Okay, but what you might see it in an answer is they might put the two of these together, the profit and loss, instead of the 100 and the 2,500 separately. It would be 2,600 that the profit and loss goes up by, and instead of these two being separate, the 500 and 750, you'll see them just putting it in as 1,250.